I'm Julia. I play the cello. I play in the National Arts Centre Orchestra. I grew up in Prince Edward Island, mostly. We traveled before settling there when I was 9, and that's when I started playing the cello. So I went to McGill University for my undergrad. After that, I went to New York for a master's degree, and I did a diploma, and I stayed there freelancing, doing chamber music for another 6 years. Then I started feeling like I was missing home a little bit, or missing Canada, and I took an audition and got a job in the National Arts Centre Orchestra and moved back to Ottawa, and so here I am. So I play a lot of different kinds of music. Most of it falls under classical music. My main job is with the National Arts Centre Orchestra, so that's orchestral symphonic music, and it also, is not all classical music. For instance, last week we played a Beethoven piano concerto, so that's classical period. And then we played a contemporary piece by a Scottish composer, Sally Beamish. So that's like written recently, but like within the classical idiom. And then we played a Prokofiev symphony, which is like late Romantic. So then I also have this part of my career where I play chamber music. And for a long time, that was the primary thing that I did. I'm in trios and quartets and quintets, and that is also running the gamut from the major classical composers to new pieces. When I was starting the cello, I think I was really driven by a passion for the music. I loved it. I was horrible because I was always playing music that was too hard for me because I just couldn't wait to get my hands on the real music, And I think throughout my education and my career, there have just been waves of inspiration and motivation and struggling to find a way to keep on going even when you don't want to learn to take breaks when you need to or when you can. It took a while to learn how to practice. I think that was something that I don't think anyone really told me or taught me how to practice. They were teaching me how to play the cello, and I had amazing teachers. But it wasn't until well into my university life that I kind of got a sense of, okay, these are the steps that I should go through to make this better in an efficient way. And tell you what, since having kids, I am the master of efficient practicing. It's like a whole new level. So I am involved with this organization called Colline en Musique, and that's with pianist Carson Becke, and LP is also involved, my partner, and another couple, Megan Lindsay and Juan Olivares. She's a singer and he's a clarinetist. And that organization is working to bring more classical music to the Outaouais Hills region. And so that's something that that kind of project is something that has always really motivated me. I think it's easy for classical music to really become focused and centered in big cities and big areas, and you have to go to the concert hall. So to play music in different environments and smaller places is really fun for me, and meeting people, and so we're kind of trying to infiltrate the region with music. Over the course of my career, I've composed a few things here and there, or arranged a little bit, but recently I had the opportunity to write a piece for cello and piano inspired by a work of art by my neighbor, Chris Hamilton, who's a beautiful sculptor. And that was for an event that was part of the Chelsea Wakefield studio tour. Composing that piece, I felt just so all the sparks were being lit in me. I felt like I was going to a place of pure creativity, and I loved that. There are, you look for moments of that in your career. I often find it in some of my solo and chamber music projects, and I think composing has always been a bit of a I don't know, I don't think of myself as a composer, so it feels a little bit daunting, but it was really I'd come over here to the studio and just sit down and look at this sculpture and think about it. I felt like I was painting with or with sound and with notes. And I was like, it was very fun. There are times when I think the world needs, our country needs more doctors. We need more people working on environmental issues. And sometimes I think maybe I should be doing something that's like has a real concrete benefit. Also, I have young children, so I'm thinking about like the future of our world. And sometimes spending my time practicing notes. Do they go this way or this way? Should that one be a little bit shorter? Feels a little vain even. But ultimately, I come back to the belief that the more beauty there is in the world, the better people will treat it. The better they will treat each other. And that, and I've seen during the pandemic especially, but in many environments, the way that music can be a balm for the soul, can be uniting, and it's also what I've invested so many hours and so much time in, and I think it's what I can offer to the world. It's like what I'm best at.